Today we're going to be looking at Lunar Tides in the color Neon Dragonfruit. So before we get started, I do just want to say that my swatches, even though they are labeled 1 through 12, that's not supposed to be synonymous with hair levels. It's just to help us keep track of each swatch throughout the video. Also, my swatches are not virgin hair, which means they've been chemically colored, treated, or bleached at some point in their existences. So I'm going to start by taking the color directly from the container, and I will put it at the very top of each swatch. Then some people do like to dilute their dyes, so we'll do a diluted version at the bottom of each swatch. And just as a reminder, everyone's hair is different, which means everyone's hair can take color differently. And not only that, but the monitor that you're using to watch my video can change how color looks, especially the undertone. So please just use my video as a reference for how this could maybe possibly turn out for you.
Think about the time when I made it to your first show. Took hours to get there under the weather, but I would do it all again. Where do I go from here? Oh, it's not making any sense at all. 'Cause in a moment it was over. All these years for a second of closure. Oh, still I miss you next October. How will I know what fine feels like without you in my life? Without you in my life. And I thought that I was fine, but I can't help. Wonder what it's like to be the one who gets to share it all. Still it's not like I even really care, but I do. And what am I supposed to say?
For the diluted section, we're going to do a 4:1 ratio. So that's going to be 1 part of our dye to 4 parts diluter. If you've seen my videos before, you probably know what diluter is, but in case you haven't, the easiest way to explain it is that it's something that lightens the color of a semi-permanent dye. Some brands do make their own diluters that you can use that'll keep the same consistency, but because I'm doing so many different brands, I just use a plain white conditioner as my diluter.
Just don't want to still be holding on. 'Cause all it took was just one moment.
So I'm gonna let this sit for about an hour. I will then rinse the swatches out, and when they are dry, I'll meet you back here and then we can do some comparisons. If you do like this color or any other color from Lunar Tides, I do actually have a code with them. So you can use code FLOXIE, PHLOXIE, to get 15% off of your order. I do make a small commission anytime that my code is used, so if you do decide to use my code, thank you very, very, very much. Sometimes it's hard to tell if a neon is going to lean more pastel or not, so I'm happy to see that this actually took pretty well on most of these swatches. Again, if your hair is virgin, you will probably have a different result than my swatches since my hair is not virgin. Virgin hair tends to be less porous, which means it can struggle to take and hold on to color. But luckily pink is one of those colors that tends to stick to hair pretty well, so obviously do a strand test, but you might have good luck with a color like this. So I would say this is a saturated, cool undertoned, bright pink, but not like a highlighter pink. My number 11 swatch did turn out a little bit lighter than the rest of them. I do think if you have slightly more porous hair, there is the potential for yours to turn out a little bit darker than my platinum blonde swatch did. But because this is a neon, again, I don't really see any dustiness or anything like that coming coming through. And even though this does lean a little bit more cool in undertone, obviously if your hair does lean a little bit more warm, it can affect the undertone of this. So I don't necessarily think you need to tone your hair for this to work. Just expect that it could lean a little less cool in undertone if your hair is more like yellow. As for coverage, looking at the green swatch, it actually took very, very well over the top part, the direct dye. So this does have good potential to cover previously colored hair. Depending on the outcome though, it's not as bright and like intense looking over the green. So just keep that in mind. And like I already said, do a strand test. I think overall this could work okay over darker blonde hair for the direct dye portion. Again, depending on your hair porosity, and maybe like medium to light blonde for the diluted section. I do see it over some of the like 7, 8, and 9, but there's a lot of that natural hair coming through versus like 10 and 11. I just see more of the color than I see of the previous hair beforehand. And you could imagine, because this is neon, it does glow under a UV light. So as far as comparisons go, I looked through my more cool undertoned intense UV light pinks, and I found two that I think are pretty good. So our first one is going to be Manic Panic in the color Hot Hot Pink. So this is comparable to number 12, 11, 10, and comparable to number 9. So I did Hot Hot Pink earlier on in my channel. I used to do 2 separate diluted parts, so that's why the swatches look like that. As far as similarities go, I think they're close to the same depth, but Hot Hot Pink definitely does lean just a touch more warm. I think it's probably more obvious even on the diluted sections, but you can tell on the direct dye part as well. So if you're looking for a more cool toned UV bright pink dye, the Dragonfruit actually might be a really good option for you. In comparison, it almost, especially on the Platinum Blonde, looks a little bit more like a bubblegum kind of pink. And then my other more similar comparison is Good Dye Young in the color X Girl. So this is comparable to number 12, number 11, number 10, and number 9. Overall, I think this one's a little bit more similar. The Hot Hot Pink maybe was just a tiny bit lighter, but once again, the Neon Dragonfruit is a little bit cooler. I had 3 other colors I was considering comparing this to. There was Adore Pink Rose. That one was also a tiny bit warmer, but it was also a little bit darker, which is why I didn't go with that one. Iro in the color Pink was a little bit brighter, making it look a little bit lighter, so I didn't go with that one. And then Splat in the color Pink Fetish, similar undertone, but it was darker. So I'll have those videos linked below if you want to see what those ones look like. Now I'd like to look at the before and after clips. Those, as well as anything past this point in the video, will all be done in natural lighting.
I know that I'll be fine, but I can't tell. Think about the time when I made it to your first show. Took hours to get there under the weather, but I would do it all again. Now do I go from here? Oh, it's not making any sense at all. 'Cause in a moment it was over. All these years for a second of closure. Oh, still I miss you next October. How will I know what fun feels like without you in my life? Without you in my life. I thought that I was fine, but I can't tell. Wonder what it's like to be the one who gets to share it all. Still, it's not like I even really care, but I do. And what am I supposed to say? Oh, it's not making any sense at all. 'Cause in a moment it was over. All these years for a second of closure. Oh, still I miss you next October. How will I know what fun feels like without you in my life? I thought I had it all, but boy, how could I ever be more wrong? Hey, so go ahead and leave it all. Oh, I just don't want to still be holding on. 'Cause all it took was just one moment to cut it off and leave me broken. Oh, still I miss you next October. How will I know what fun feels like without you in my life?
I hope my video helped. If you have a request, I do have a link below to a Google form you can fill out. Just remember, I only do brands that do not test on animals. Thank you so very, very much to my patrons. Thank you to anyone who uses my code Floxy. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video.
Without you